Welcome to the Blind Justice Podcast, where you discover the insider secrets of injury and accident cases, and all of your law questions get answered. Now, here's your host, Chicago injury lawyer, Scott DeSalvo.
Hey guys, Scott DeSalvo back with Amelia Finnefrock on the Blind Justice Podcast.
Woo-hoo.
Answering your questions.
Every day.
Answering questions you never even knew you had.
Yes, Scott.
Giving you answers you never wanted to know.
Sometimes they're really sad, sometimes they're super important, and sometimes they're really informational.
Sometimes we use foul language and become rather inappropriate.
Yeah. Who put two mics in front of us? Who did
right,
that?
Exactly. Bad idea.
Seriously.
So we're continuing our series of answering questions. If you have a question, by now you probably know how to do it. service@DeSalvoLaw.com. Happy to answer your questions, or you can call the office. How to do that is all over my website.
You're welcome to CC me on that email. I will not be able to give you any legal advice. Maybe I'll give you a pun or a joke.
Yes,
or a
limerick of some sort.
Sure, a haiku. Yeah.
Haiku, wow.
Yeah.
That would be.
Word of the day.
Maybe we should do a podcast where we just speak in haiku.
Oh, God. What a challenge.
It
what
would
a
have
brain
to be scripted.
tease. It would have to. But how cool would it be if it
would
wasn't?
Be pretty cool. We should try that.
But that would be like 20 minutes of us getting through like maybe 7.
Yeah.
Not to insult your intelligence, but just knowing me, you're going to have to be waiting a lot for me to finish my haiku, and then I'll pass the torch to you.
No, all the haiku would
thing.
have to be written beforehand. Right,
I feel like that'd be
for sure.
so annoying to listen to.
Yes, they would about 48 seconds into the podcast, there would be like a contract out on my life.
We would injure someone's ears.
Yes,
and then,
emotionally.
And then we'd
and
be in
poetically.
A bad place.
So if there's like a poetry professor listening to the podcast, I don't know.
Heed our words.
There would be anger.
Here we go.
Anger and frustration.
Oh my God.
So what's new? Anything new?
Oh yeah. So, geez, what is new? I have a big audition coming up the next 2 weeks. Oh God, that's Christmas. That's past Christmas, right? Christmas is also coming up.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
What is this?
2017 flew by. Flew by, and now here we are, like in the new year.
I mean, I remember
crazy,
like throwing up on New Year's, and here we are.
TMI, but thanks for sharing.
No, but yeah. So
we can safely assume it was not the stomach flu.
Yeah, you don't know that. You don't know my life, Scott. Maybe it was
don't
really
judge
sick
me.
from crab rangoon.
Don't judge me.
On New Year's Day, we don't know.
Could be anything. Could have been a virus.
There was no police report filed on that day, so you know what? It's lost in the ether.
Could have been bad chow mein.
Could have been, but yeah, I got picked to out of 3 people out of like this huge number. I was told to audition for this cover band. They won't tell me the name because it's a big deal. I don't really know who they could be. That sounds terrible. I don't really follow a lot of cover bands. Hopefully, they don't listen to this.
Was the experience at all like your? Weren't you like, didn't you do, was it American Idol?
Yep.
Yeah, and that was sort of a big deal. You went pretty far into it.
Yeah. Oh, God. It was like my senior year in high school. 17, went like on a whim to a cattle call audition, and then it turned into, the whole thing turned into like, my whole year got sucked into
and
it.
You
It was really cool.
You didn't really have like an agent or anything like that back then?
Nobody. Oh, gosh.
And these days, did somebody reach out to you through representation, or
no?
Was it something you applied for and had to do an open audition for
American Idol, or this
for
right
this
now?
one?
For this one, I found them and applied. I'm in the process of like looking for an agent, so I have some. I have all my stuff set out, and I just need to get stuff to. It's a lot of paperwork. You get it. Like, it's just a lot of stuff to do. I have to like put together packages and then send it out to like all different agencies, and I have like everything that I need in front of me to do. I just have to actually do it.
The thing that kills me about talent agents is nobody wants to help you until you're already famous.
Yeah.
Then once you're famous, they're super happy to take their 13% or whatever the hell it is that they take, right?
Yeah,
but of course, yes, I'm going to become an agent, and I really want to help Beyonce with her career.
I was thinking about the other day. I'm like,
Beyonce
what do you
doesn't
do?
need my help with the career.
Right. I know. I'm like, what does
Right.
Beyonce, what do those people do? I don't know. We don't
Spend money like water, I'm guessing.
Seriously. Like on that photo shoot. Did you see that photo shoot with like when she was pregnant with the twins?
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, she looked like this god. And I
Yeah.
thought, I wonder how much that cost. But yeah, anyways, it's just, I just want to be like, listen, I'm good. Can you just please send me work? Because it's hard looking for my own work, and I'll do it. But like, I'm good enough. Just hire me.
So where, I mean, Chicago Reader newspaper or like where do you even, like what's the network for that?
Well,
I don't even
Craigslist.
know.
There's always Craigslist. There's a site. There's a couple sites for actors / performance artists to like. They have just a breakdown of what they need, and you just like apply. You pay like $2. You apply. Send in your headshot, resume, a little blurb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But the agent would be awesome because then they can do all that work for you. So they can just be
In
like,
theory.
listen. Yeah, in theory. Yeah. So next year, maybe this next podcast when I'll have an agent at this time. So we shall see.
The thing is, I feel like the way to, if you're in the arts, if you're a singer, musician, or filmmaker, or
Yeah.
actor, or actress, or comedian, or you want to even get into a for-pay podcast, like a lucrative podcast thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a podcast would be a little bit different. You just start a podcast and make sure the production value is really high.
Right.
And then try to create viral content, and then you're guest on other podcasts.
Yes.
And it gets the ball rolling. But
Exactly.
for everybody else, like actors, actresses, filmmakers, musicians, I feel like social media, YouTube, you got to do some free work
Oh yeah, for sure.
and show people that you're awesome, and then pray to God you catch on somewhere. Right?
Exactly. Oh yeah. I mean, totally. And it's and everyone wants you to work for free, and and sometimes you do, especially at the beginning. I think you should. But it's to the point where it's like, all right, I need somebody else to be getting me some of these stuff. But I mean, yeah, like on YouTube is such an awesome tool. Like Andrew Lloyd Webber found I don't know if you're familiar with Phantom of the Opera, but what's the chick's name? She's like the crazy operatic singer that's like super jealous of the main character. I'm really spelling this out well, but anyways, she's like a superstar now. But he found her off YouTube. He found her out. He was like messing around on
Noodling
YouTube.
around, right?
Be Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he's like, yeah, let's call her in for an audition. I want her to be this huge part, and so she's like, she's a big deal. She makes a lot of money. So yeah.
Well, look, on the plus side, you've got a great opportunity,
Yeah,
and you're one of the
that'd be
3
cool.
finalists, so that's a
Yeah.
hell of an accomplishment.
So it'll be whatever happens. It'll be cool. What I really want them to do is listen to this podcast. I want them to be like, "Wow, I learned something today," and let's talk about falling on marble floors.
Yeah, I mean, for a minute, I feel like maybe I should start doing like an additional podcast where I just interview people and ask them questions about their life.
That would be really
As I get
cool.
older, I'm just becoming more and more interested in stuff I don't know about, right?
Yeah, like a People of Chicago type.
Yeah,
thing.
I'm very cemented, and I'd love to focus on actors, actresses, musicians,
really
and
cool.
filmmakers. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That would be so fun.
If I had more fun, I could
Freudian
use some
slip.
fun, frankly. I'm a lawyer. I work all the time. Not that fun. Maybe I will do that. Anyway.
We should do that. That's
yeah,
really cool.
it would be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, this podcast started turning into that. I'm like, whoa, we got to talk about the law now, woman.
I know, right? We're like running on minute 5. We're like, oh no! Hurry, let's
or
talk
minute
about some
10,
broken hips.
as the case may be.
Let's, for real.
So we're still doing the Q&A, folks. You got a question? Please contact us. Amelia, take it away.
Yes. I fell on a sidewalk, and there was a difference between the sidewalk height of about 1 inches. I turned a corner and just tripped over the height difference. I broke my leg, and now I have a lot of doctor bills. Do I have a good case?
Okay, so the first thing I got to tell you about that is fall down cases or slip and fall or trip and fall cases, lawyers call them premises liability cases, right? The first thing you got to know, and I've said this before, but it bears repeating, fall down cases are not easy cases.
No.
They are hard cases, and there's all sorts of case law and legal exceptions that apply that can stop you from recovering in a case like that.
Yeah.
So in this circumstance, it sounds like there's like a 1-inch difference between probably the slabs on a sidewalk. And so there's cases under Illinois law, and it's a rule called the de minimis rule, which is Latin, right? It's a Latin phrase. And basically, the de minimis rule says that landlords and owners and occupiers of land cannot be held to an impossible standard. In other words, if you own a sidewalk or a premises, you can't keep the premises in perfect condition all the time.
Sure.
And so the general rule is if you have like a 1-inch defect, without some other circumstance or aggravated condition or situation, you're just not going to recover. You can't, okay? So we would file a lawsuit on a 1-inch defect, and the court would throw the case out, okay? The defendant would make a motion to the court saying, look, the defect's 1 inch, and there are no aggravating circumstances.
Like if there was ice on it, that'd be a different story.
Or any number of things,
sure.
right? Like there's a million things, which goes
right.
to my next point, which is a car accident case where you get rear-ended is easy to analyze. You should still talk to a lawyer if you've got an injury case no matter what, but
right.
especially in a premises liability case. You many times as an attorney have to sit down and really interview the client carefully and get all these details and facts in order to kind of figure out what's what.
Right.
Because it's not just that you're nosy and you want to know all the details.
Right.
It's that you literally need to know all the details to put together like a legal theory that will get past summary judgment in a fall-down case.
Yeah.
So here, 1 inch, I would need more information to be able to even kind of make a decision about whether this person could have a case. But I would say don't give up,
No.
right?
I mean, she broke her leg, or he.
Yeah, it's not like you fell down and skinned your knee and you want $1,000,
Yeah.
right? It's a broken bone, and so there's broken bones and broken bones. So you can have a slip and fall, or you can have a trip and fall case where you break a leg, where they put it in a cast, and 6 to 8 weeks later, you're back to normal, and you do a little therapy, and you're right as rain. Other broken bones require multiple surgeries, and you're never the same again,
No,
right? So
that affects your life.
no matter what it is, a broken bone is a solid injury. It's just that there's, depending on the context I'm talking about, I usually say there's 4 parts to an injury case. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I say there's 2, depending on the context. But
so much math.
There's
You lost
really
me at
4.
2.
There's 4 parts to a case. Did somebody do something wrong? 1. 2. Did what they do wrong cause you an injury? Number 3, did you suffer an injury, and what is the nature of the injury? And 4, are they rich enough to pay a judgment, or did they have insurance? Those are the 4 parts to the case, right? So here, if it's a city, they have money to pay a judgment, so number 4 is fine. A broken bone, so number 3 is fine. She fell and immediately broke the bone by tripping over the height differential, so we know that the height differential caused the broken bone.
Right.
It's just that number 1 of those 4, what did they do wrong, and is it enough to sustain a lawsuit?
I don't know.
It's a little bit skeptical here. But
Right.
again, I really encourage anybody who gets injured on somebody else's property to talk to a lawyer, because there are a million things that a lawyer might be able to do for you. For example, some properties carry, well, city property doesn't carry MedPay, but let's say this person fell on a private piece of property. There's special insurance coverage that some businesses have called medical payments coverage, and it pays you your medical bills, just medical bills, no pain and suffering, no nothing, just the medical bills for a fall on property. And so a lawyer who knows what he or she is doing can collect that money for you.
Nice.
And arrange it, wheel and deal with the medical provider so that you're putting some money in your pocket.
Well,
that's just like one example of why talking to a lawyer can be a benefit. Like, none of this stuff is simple. And I'm not doing this podcast to try and pretend that it is simple. It's more important that people understand some of the basic rules and how these things work.
Right.
But, obviously, there's a lot of lawyers who a regular part of their law practice is not injury work. And they still talk to people and sign up injury cases and try and settle them. And you can get lucky and have them do a good job on the case, but injury law has become a specialty business. And unless you are reading cases in court, trying cases, applying legal theories, applying different settlement and trial strategies, you need to talk to somebody who does injury work. So,
right. I mean, the best thing you can do is just ask. I think a lot of people stop right where fear starts, and it's like, oh, well, I don't know. It's like, well, how should you know if you don't decide to do this full time? You're not. But many lawyers
have a terminal case of big shot, right? So anybody they talk to, they want to act like a big shot. They want to act haughty, put people in their place, let them know that they're that's nonsense. I don't like talking to people like that. No. Lawyers who act like that are insecure. Yeah. So there are great lawyers out there for you to talk to. Definitely talk to somebody. I have a pretty good idea of a guy who's a pretty good lawyer who you might be able to talk to.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I forget his name.
It rhymes with, like, lot de blah, blah.
Jack. Whoa. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
De blah, 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 blah.
It's Jack Storm.
Jack Storm. Alec Baldwin's other brother.
From another mother and father.
But how are they related? That's not the point.
So, I hope the information helps you. You guys can call me or contact me if I can. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and hit the notification bell so you hear when or you're notified when I release a new podcast on YouTube. Have a great week, and I hope you don't get hurt, but if you do, you know who to call.
I love that.
Thanks.
We're going to end all our podcasts.
Thanks for joining me once again, Amelia.
Yes, absolutely.
And have a great week.
You as well.
Thanks for listening. I truly hope that the information in the podcast helps you no matter the situation you find yourself in. But you might need more answers or some more direct help. So there are 3 ways for you easily to find out more and to get help. If you call my toll-free 24-hour helpline, 888-HURT-318, you'll have a couple of options. 888-HURT-318 is my toll-free 24-hour telephone line. You can call that number and speak with my team night or day. First, you can call 888-HURT-318, and you can speak to me for a free consultation about your case or situation. That's always free and no obligation. Second, you can tell the operator that you'd like a free copy of my injury DVD and book. I created the DVD and book, and I give it away for free to injured people who need answers, but who might not be ready to talk to a lawyer yet. Same deal, 100% free, 100% no obligation. Third and finally, you can check out my YouTube channel for informative videos about the injury case and claims process, or check out my other podcasts for more information and interesting interviews with people who know different things about various aspects of the law. I've put all of this together to help you and to answer your questions. Now, you can also help me, and I hope that you will. If you enjoyed the podcast and if it helped you at all, please subscribe, and if you can, take a minute and please post a positive review of the show. If you're listening to the podcast on YouTube, like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you know anyone who might enjoy the podcast, please spread the word and share it on Facebook. It's my mission to spread good information to as many people as possible, and your liking and reviewing and subscribing to the podcast helps me get the word out. Thanks again. This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It doesn't substitute for consulting with a lawyer. If you have a case, speak with a lawyer right away. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. Or if you'd like to see more of my videos, click subscribe. Thanks again.